Greetings everyone, my name is Raziel and welcome back to another reveal video. After sadly not being able to do reveals for Ultramarines due to Nurgle's rot, I am finally back at it again. Today I have some new cards for the Wordbearers to show to you all, including the Golden One himself. I know, that is what you are all here for, so I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Let's look at some cards. First, we have Golden Sun, a 4 energy tactic with the effect to heal 2 to your Warlord, which is then repeated for every demon you control. Do note that troops with the Demon Host trait also gain the demon keyword, and thus Demon Host troops are going to trigger this condition as well. Sadly, even with this neat little synergy, I don't think that this is a card that will be worth using. Spending 4 energy on heals, and heals alone, is a pretty big investment for something with a quite negligible return. Yes, if your Warlord's HP reach 0, you lose the game, but unless you have a nearly full board, this card most likely won't be able to heal you to a meaningful extent to escape, let's say, a Kroger's lethal range after he has played Siege Mastery the previous turn. Comment down below if you understand what I mean. If this card did something in addition to healing your Warlord, like removing stun, can't attack, disoriented, poison, etc., it may be useful as something like a cleanse for your Warlord to get rid of debilitating effects, but even then 4 energy is probably something that is going to be too expensive for anyone that is not a dedicated duelist Warlord. But that's okay, we have more cards to look at. Next up, we got Kareth Squad, a 1 energy Astartes with 2 attack and 1 HP, and the effect to put an injured cultist in play on rally and backlash. And boy, this card is amazing for the Wordbearers. For 1 energy, this guy is essentially 3 bodies with 1 HP each. This means that it will be incredibly easy to gain offerings by just playing this card. I could even see something like Voltarex Assault being used alongside this guy, as it will not just clear the enemy board, but also give you 2 or 3 offerings from 1 singular troop. I am unsure how this Backlash Voltarex interaction works again. I think the troop you put into play is not damaged by Voltarex Assault, but I may be wrong. If you know, let me know in the comments. So after a pretty meh first card, we have a banger as our second card. Let's follow this up with today's highlight, the Golden One, Lorgar Aurelian. Lorgar is, how could it be any different, a 40 HP Warlord with 2 attack. He has medium initiative as well as a Whispers of Chaos. And for 2 energy, he can give Demon Host to a friendly Astartes, or, if he doesn't control any, put in play the aforementioned Kareth Squad. I am not going to sugarcoat it. I don't think this new Lorgar is going to be the best Warlord in the game when he releases. His buff ability is virtually just a worse version of Horus, given Demon Host is, in all honesty, the worst kind of buff mechanic if we are speaking purely about the buffs the troop gets, not the synergies around it. Not only is it a random effect out of a bunch, it also comes without any stat increases unless you have already hosted a large number of demons, in which case you are probably already winning. In short, using Lorgar's ability simply to buff your Astartes is not going to be very effective, and you will 100% have games where you want, for example, the Survivor buff on your troop, and end up getting Terror, or Cleave, or Ward, or Flank. The chances of getting the exact host you need are not in your favor at all. This leaves us with Lorgar as a pseudo-token generator, and while Kareth Squad is by no means a bad troop to spawn, I don't think it will have that much of an impact outside the early game, not to mention you cannot use Lorgar's ability to spawn a Kareth Squad if you control an Astartes, like Kareth Squad. So sadly it looks like base Lorgar will continue to be weaker than all of his brothers. Lore accurate! Lorgar's Whispers of Chaos starts at 20 energy and goes down by 1 for every offering stack you have accumulated. This was a very predictable condition, and I assume most of you were expecting more or less this exact Whispers of Chaos. I think 20 might be a little too high. 10 offerings to even be able to play it is quite a big number. Maybe they'll need to tone it down to 18 or so, or maybe make every offering discount by 2. But it is by no means impossible to get as it is right now, and any game that turns into a grind will for sure result in more than enough volunteers to fuel your transition. After his transition, Lorgar becomes a 3-attack, 40 HP Warlord, and his ability becomes 2 energy, choose and put in play a demon. And yes, this means any demon. He gets to pull any demon in the game that is available in whatever mode you are playing in. He also starts to ignore maintenance of all friendly demons. This is definitely better than the current Trans Lorgar, given the new lesser demons are all kind of not worth it. New Lorgar is able to, in theory, conjure multiple greater demons out of thin air, one by one, every turn you don't kill him. Emphasis here being on in theory. In theory, you could also keep seeing weak Ruinstorm demons and Blue Horror every time. All demons that are very bad in an advanced gamescale. In short, this Lorgar has the potential to be very strong once he has completed his transition, but only if the tides of the warp are in his favor. Sadly, this already concludes Raziel's rousing reveals for today. Let's revisit each individual card once more. We started out by looking at a heal tactic that might need further help to truly be worth playing, followed by an amazing volunteer for the rituals of the Wordbearers, and lastly we got to cast our gaze on the new golden Primarch of the Wordbearers, Lorgar Aurelian, his Whispers of Chaos, as well as his post-transition version. Personally, I am excited to see what the full faction will look like. Are we going to get a return of Whispers Rush Lorgar? Will the mission get changed in any way? Is Argal Tal making a return as a playable warlord? So many questions yet to answer. That is all for today. I bid you farewell, and I'll hopefully see you again, either for the next deck video or the Opens of War reveals in approximately 2 weeks. That is, unless Nurgle has his revenge and I'm once again unable to leave the bed for 1.5 weeks, I guess it will depend on the tides of the warp. Until next time.